3 things that my professors did in college that I would absolutely never do in my class now that I am a professor. First one being, I would hate when professors would force us to buy the textbook for the class, especially when it really wasn't necessary to passing the class. So a lot of professors, they use slideshows or they have some other informational method to get their point across. But just forcing students to buy a textbook, especially when they don't even reference it at any point during the class, just feels like a big waste of money,
especially because they are so expensive.
The second thing being, intentionally not passing a student. So I had this one professor, I was taking calculus, and I didn't like the class, but I had a B pretty much throughout the whole class. But then the final came, I bombed it, I didn't do that great, but I went back and calculated my score. I knew which questions I had gotten wrong. It was only 5 questions on the whole final. Because when I looked at my report card, I saw that I actually had a D, and I was so frustrated. I reached out to him so many times, trying to get some closure as to if I had a B the whole time, why did I end up with a D? Even if I had bombed that final, I still should have at least gotten somewhere between a C and a C+. It just didn't make sense. So I reached out to him, you know what he told me?
He said that in his syllabus, if you did not pass the final, you did not pass the class.
I'm not aware of this policy. Obviously, I went back and checked the syllabus. Yes, it was there. But having any sort of rule like that is it's just so frustrating. It made me feel so upset, so insecure. And it made me feel like I just wasn't good enough to be in school. It just made me question my whole academic identity. And it's definitely not something I ever wish upon any other of my students. The last thing being, I had this one professor. I was taking chemistry. And it was during a shorter term, during the winter or the summer, because I really wanted to get it done.
I don't recommend it, but
I went ahead and did it. And this professor, he had a different way of giving tests. So he had 3 versions, A, B, and C. Pretty normal, right? But these versions were a little extra. If you passed version A, that means you got an A on the test. If you passed version B, same thing, you got a B. So on and so forth. Every single exam he gave was administered that way. So he would expect you to reason with yourself and be like, okay, do you think you can get an A? Or maybe you're feeling more like a C. So obviously, what does that leave anybody to pass? When you're picking up an exam, which one are you gonna grab? You're gonna grab the A, you're gonna throw your shot. Well, the A was nearly impossible. One exam, I actually picked up the C, and that one was definitely more doable, but it didn't feel like a C-level exam. There was no, oh, you're gonna get graded out of how many you got right. Nope. If you didn't pass the A test, you failed. If you didn't pass the C test, you failed. Almost forgot I have to end with my lip oil. Perfect. Always love the little color and shimmer that it brings. I hope you all have an amazing Monday, and I will share with you guys tomorrow. Bye.